Welcome, everybody. We are here to talk about chip number 41, a streaming puzzle, as Yak and Michael, who we have on the call, have written. Yak, you want to take it away and tell us what this chip is all about?
Sure. I guess I'll just start with the motivation. And
Absolutely.
so when you look at token distributions on other chains, you'll see that the tokens are minted once and then they're distributed to the investors, to the team, to airdrops or other places. And with this chip, we asked ourselves how we distribute tokens in a way that you generate them once, and then you are able to distribute them to investors or team members or other parties over years. And Uh, there's mainly two types of vesting. So traditionally in startups, you kind of do a stepped vesting. So after 1 year, you get access to 25% of the tokens. After 2 years, 50%. And then after 4 years, only then can you claim 100% of the tokens. But pretty much the standard in crypto, maybe because money is programmable, came to be streaming. So the tokens at a set rate. So for example, if your tokens vest over 10 years and 1 year has passed, then you are able to claim 10% of your tokens, and the rest will continue to vest at that constant rate. And the cool thing about this is also flexibility. So you can claim the tokens you earn every second should you need them. A custom puzzle, the streaming puzzle, you can stream cats and XCH to a recipient. To get a sense of the flow, what happens is the issuer takes the freshly minted cat and they create this streaming cat, which is the cat lock with this special streaming puzzle. And now after a day or a month, the receiver comes along and spends the streaming cat by sending a message. And this will do two things. It will create a payout coin, so the receiver will be able to receive their cats, and then the streaming coin gets recreated. So that's the part where the cats that haven't been sent to the receiver yet will continue to be streamed. And after some more time, the receiver can come again and send a message to the new coin that will give them another payout, and it will recreate the streaming cat. Lastly, something we added for flexibility is the ability to stop streams early. So if the issuer comes back, they can send a message to the streaming cat that will pay back the receiver what they're owed for the time that has passed since the last claim, but they will refund the rest of the funds to the issuer. And this latest edition mainly comes for the second use case. We thought that if we are to release a puzzle, it would be good for it to cover as many use cases as possible. And one thing where we really consider this to be important is something called optimistic payments. So imagine an organization awards, let's say, front-end design contract to a developer. They can create this streaming cat coin to reward the developer for the time allotted. And this is basically an optimistic payment, meaning that the receiver or the front-end developer knows the cats will end up in their account if the DAO doesn't load them back. So after the streaming, if the work is done and the organization is satisfied, then they don't claw back the coin, and then the contributor can claim all the cats as at their convenience. They might be streamed over 4 months, and the contributor can claim their payment every day or every week. Or if the front-end development isn't going that well and the organization wants to club back their payment, and this means that if they claw it back, let's say half through the development process, the contributor will still get half, they have that guarantee, but the organization will get the rest that wasn't streamed yet. A few more details. Streams, as we made them, can be identified by unique identifier. This is basically the coin ID of the first streaming coin. And you can see an example here. It's an actual stream we've done on testnet. Given the identifier, anyone can pretty much verify the stream on chain and see how much was claimed, how much is claimable, and how much is remaining. The clawback functionality is completely optional. So the issuer can specify if someone can claw back the coin at issuance. After that, it's static and it can be changed. But if they specify that no one can claw back the stream after issuance, then the clawback functionality is disabled. We also have a chip link and a CLI link that works with Sage RPC. And as a last picture, I would like to leave you with this clawback bar of how a streaming cat can be thought of when it's streaming. You have a small portion that's already claimed, so that's the amount the receiver already got in their wallet. You have the middle section, which is claimable, so the receiver has to send a message to the stream cat and they will receive this portion of cats. And you also have the remaining section, so that's the amount of cats that have yet to be redeemable, and they might be clawed back when the issuer sends that message. That's pretty much the overview. I guess I'll leave this slide. Yeah, Michael, anything to add?
I think you covered pretty much all of it. A lot of the use cases
Okay.
that we need within the dig network with a lot of the token schemes that we're looking at to help incentivize mirrors. So this is one part of the puzzle of a larger system and series of puzzles that we're developing. But all in all, it's very exciting. Yeah, this is actually the diagram that I've been working on for a type of token that powers the whole network as in addition to using XCH in the dig economy.
Well, this is really cool. So do you anticipate more chips coming out or more special
Yes,
puzzles for dig?
we have a couple more coming down the pipeline.
Okay. Well, send them my way or
We're
our way.
working on in dig. We're open sourcing because we're realizing that a lot of the stuff that we're doing really can benefit multiple projects, not just what we're working on. So almost everything that we're building is and will plan to be open sourced.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing this. Others definitely could make use of something like this. So if I understand correctly, we can go test this right away, right? On testnet.
Yeah, there's a CLI and instructions.
Awesome. Anybody in the audience have any questions or comments to add?
How do you prove that you are the owner of, or that you're the recipient or the person who can claw it back in the transaction? I didn't dive too deeply into the Chialisp.
So how it works at the technical level is custody puzzles. So custody puzzles are claim or to claw back. A custody puzzle has to send a message to the streaming coin. So for example, if I were to claim, the custody puzzle of the receiver has to send a message to the streaming cat coin, and that would trigger the payment.
Okay.
Well, ultimately, this seems like a pretty straightforward thing. It's a great puzzle that'll be a nice tool and for people to have in their toolbox.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the diagram you actually see here, we're still refining it, but we actually think that we can come up with a decent open source model for projects to be able to distribute their tokens fairly in a way that's provably fair. So while obviously one of the easiest use cases is just streaming payments, these other use cases that actually help control the tokenomics for projects in a way that you set it in the beginning and with the right parameters it can never change, so you create a predictable tokenomics flow. You make it so that it's impossible to change the model after it's been issued. I think it can be a very powerful model for a lot of projects, and we're working on refining that to present it as like a white paper to the community. And this puzzle is one piece of that greater white paper.
Got it. Yeah. Yet another really nice use case for this, especially as more projects come online in the Chia ecosystem.
Yeah.
More questions or comments from anybody?
Um,
Can we talk more about the AT protocol, like how it resolves, like how it's different from the space protocol?
Sorry, could you elaborate?
Sorry, my bad. This chip is not the catalog. I messed up like two questions. I thought this question was for catalog.
Ah,
So my bad.
Well,
That will be a different chip, but I'm happy to discuss it after the chip call.
are you guys in touch offline?
I think on Chia forum, right?
My network is kind of bad, so I'm breaking out.
Well, I'll trust that you guys can DM each other.
Yeah, sure.
how hard would it be if someone wanted to adapt this to do stepped payments instead of streaming? Or do you think that's not even generally useful?
We went with streaming payments because they offer more flexibility, and we like that which is the direction most crypto projects went. And we did kind of a lot of research. But I think the idea is that for streaming, you can get this puzzle that was optimized. I think how many optimizations it has and how many variants were tested to arrive at this. For step vesting, I think you can come up with a similarly very optimized puzzle that only does that. But if you try to make it more general, then of course it will be less optimized, so it will have greater cost. So I would create a different puzzle and a different chip for step vesting.
yeah, we discussed it a little bit. We ultimately decided that for our use cases, the streaming is what we needed, and we didn't want to complicate it too much.
Makes sense.
Okay. Anybody else? So the status of this chip seems to be pretty well complete, actually. You've got a full reference implementation. You can actually use it. So if you guys think it's pretty much complete, then I think we should go ahead and move it up to review, ask for reviews, and then give that a little bit of time, and then we can finalize it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, well, we can keep this one a short one. Thanks for the presentation and discussing this. Really appreciate it. Thanks for everybody for attending.
Okay, thank you.
See ya.
Have a great day, all. Thanks for the presentation.